Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got a fun DM Commuter fuel economy test here on the BMW R18. This is BMW's cruiser motorcycle that they came out with a few years ago, sporting this gem right here, an 1800cc boxer twin engine that gives this bike a character essentially unlike any other bike on the road, or really any other vehicle on the road. The bike's been a lot of fun to have around. It certainly is a style piece with this Roctane edition and trim. So they make a few different R18s. There's kind of a classic stripped down one. There's a bagger. There's a like a full transcontinental tour sort of bike. But this one is kind of the style icon, as well as a decent day-to-day practical bike as well. I've been utilizing the side cases, and I've taken it to the gym. I've taken it on errands, and you can do a good amount of stuff with those cases. In fact, Melissa and I even went to the grocery store once, threw her on the back with the seat, and yeah, it's been a cool bike to have around. So if you do want to see our full review, check the link below. It might be coming in a few weeks after this video posts. But today we're going to find out how efficient a 1800cc boxer twin motor is on a bike that weighs about 700 pounds, makes 93 horsepower and 116 pound-feet of torque. So for those of you unfamiliar with our DM Commuter fuel economy test, we're trying to standardize some degree of fuel economy testing for motorcycles, because here in America there is no standardized test for fuel economy. It's not like cars with the EPA where you can go and get a fuel economy readout. So in order to build up a bank of data, we go out and we do a 41-mile loop consisting of slower speed, kind of city driving, more mid-speed 55-mile-an-hour type roads, and then a stretch of highway as well. We do a little bit of spirited riding, but mostly I try to ride as though maybe you were commuting into work, just kind of a casual chill riding experience, staying within 5 miles per hour of the speed limit or so, and riding as though a normal person might ride. A few other things to note for today: the tire pressures have been set to their factory settings. Temperature right now is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, anything else? I don't know. I'm just, the longer I look at this motorcycle, the more I enjoy it. Just, there's so many intricate details that take time to please the eye, and also sometimes it takes me a while to really take in the size of this bike. I mean, it's a big boy. But without any further ado, let's get this thing over to the gas station, fill it up, and we'll head out on our 41-mile loop, come back, fill the bike back up, top it off both times, and see what our numbers are. Every time. It's like a workout lifting this thing up. Also, if you park it at any sort of soft asphalt, you can see the marks that you leave with the kickstand. I'm expecting somewhere in the mid to high 30s for this bike. It is a very chill motorcycle when you're just cruising at speed. So once I shift up into 5th, 6th gear and I'm just putzing along, if I don't catch a lot of traffic, I do suspect this thing is not going to use a ton of fuel. But speaking of fuel, you can actually run 87 octane in this bike. It's totally fine if you check the manual, but it does recommend premium fuel. So I thought about it a little while. I decided I am going to put premium in this bike. I feel like that's what most R18 owners would be using. All right, let's fill it up. Wow, no sort of locking fuel cap at all. It's really interesting. I think it's the first bike I've had that doesn't have a locking fuel cap. What do I do with this? Just put it there, I guess. Okay, we are topped off. Something that I don't recommend doing every time you ride your bike, but for the sake of science, we're going to do that here. Click that closed. And I'm going to continue on with the test. Once we get this thing up, we're going to reset our trip computer here. It might be kind of hard to be able to see. There we are. We do have 3 different ride modes here in the R18. We have roll, rock, and rain. We can do this test in roll. So I'm going to head out, catch you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Okay, one tired left wrist and left leg later, and we are done with our DM Commuter test. It's not a bike I would choose for riding more than an hour at a time, especially through traffic. I swear we caught more red lights than ever before today, and just yeah, it's a fun bike to ride around in a nice riding situation, but when you're just lugging it through traffic, it does get a little bit cumbersome. But the bike seems to have done a little bit better regarding fuel economy than I expected. We're getting 40 on the dash, and I think it's time to crunch some numbers. I think we're going to come out right around there. 41.5 mile test divided by the 1.02 gallons we put in, that's given us 41 miles per gallon according to the pump test. And yeah, I'm willing to give it the bump. 41 miles per gallon here on the BMW R18 Roctane. And you know, for such a powerful bike that carries such a presence and gets so many cool looks and everything, not the worst figure in the world. Now, in the BMW owner's manual here, it lists usable fuel quantity as approximately 4.2 gallons and fuel reserve as approximately 1.1 gallons. So I don't know if the 1.1 is included in that 4.2 or not, but we're just going to go with 4.2 for the size of the fuel tank. So 4.2 times 41 miles per gallon is giving you an effective highway cruising range of just a hair over 170 miles. So not the most if you plan on doing big miles on the R18, but plenty for just putzing around town. However, I should note that there is no fuel gauge on this bike. So it doesn't give you a distance to empty, it doesn't give you a fuel readout. It'll let you know when it's low, when it's hit that reserve and you got a gallon left. But a little bit of a frustrating thing that on a $20,000 bike, they're not giving you a fuel gauge. And I think that goes to show that they really don't expect people to be putting big miles on this bike. I mean, yeah, maybe the Transcontinental version, but on this one, I think they think you're just gonna ride it for a nice afternoon and then top it off and put it away. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on this big, dark, beautiful bike, check the link below. Like I said, we'll have our full review coming out a week or two after this video drops. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, ride on.